Sorry, I have a virtual background on here. I have family in town and I had a crazy week and my room is a mess. And you guys I can't allow y'all to see how filthy.
Isn't it great that we have these virtual backgrounds now though?
Amazing. It's amazing. So I can at least pretend like I have it together.
No, real talk. How long did you take to pick that one in particular?
Well, this is actually what you can see outside my window. So I went out really fast. I was like, ching, ching. And then I put it up there. It just took a picture of what's outside my window.
Fantastic. So you've got the ACMs coming up. You're nominated. Yep. You're co-hosting. Did you have any inkling that any of this was going to happen?
No clue. I had no idea. I've just been trying to learn how to be a new mom and figure out, the breastfeeding schedule. So this was the last thing I was expecting. And oh my God, I just feel so grateful, so blessed. My God, my heart.
And so when Keith makes that call, it was a good thing that you weren't in the middle of feeding, right?
Right. Seriously, I was getting to the point where I needed to at that point, to be honest. And I was sitting there and shooting promo and I was like, I need a break. I need to go feed my son. And then I get this call and I'm like, hey, hi. It was so wild. Like Keith Urban, it's not like Nicole Kidman's husband invited me to to host the ACM Awards. I'm just still, yeah.
Now, not to diminish Keith Urban, because that's very cool, but I have to ask, is that the coolest call you've ever received? And it's okay if it wasn't. He'd be okay with that.
It is 100% the coolest call I've ever received, ever. except for when I got the call about singing at the Grammy Awards. That one was pretty cool too.
How was that experience behind the scenes? Now that it's over, can you give us a peek behind the curtain on if anything went on that we weren't aware of, or just how fantastic that was?
It was one of the most beautiful times of my life, next to obviously the birth of my son. But just being able to connect with the choir and rehearsal, there were so many tears of love and happiness, and hearing the stories of people that were even in the choir. There's one woman in the choir who was homeless at one point in time. And it was her dream to perform at the Grammy Awards. And we were together in a moment. And it was just so beautiful. It was so much bigger than a song. It really, really was.
And when you're talking about your songs and how powerful they are, every time we play them, I always think to myself a couple of things. First, I have to know, what's it like writing songs like Black Like Me, and what are you going to tell her? Because just playing them at times, you like as a radio host, you go, I'm going to be interested to see the feedback. It's been all love, which is great. Yeah. But internally writing that, I can't imagine what that feels like.
It's like there's years of built up emotions that got to that point of me writing those songs. I wrote Black Like Me 3 years ago. Whenever I saw all the news footage of that one guy, Botham Jean, who was shot in his own home in Dallas, Texas. I've seen police brutality happen against my own husband, and it was traumatizing to me. And for me to get to that point, went through so many experiences to finally write Black Like Me. And that was from my childhood up to adulthood in my 30s. And then what are you going to tell her? I wrote that in 2020. And it was just seeing the struggle of women, period. It doesn't matter what color you are. And the struggles of trying to make it in country radio in America, or trying to just feel safe walking down the street at night. I wrote that in 2020. So that took all those years of me just being a woman to write that song. So it was definitely a lot of tears, and it was cathartic getting that out. It was therapy. Really, you're listening to songs that were basically my therapy.
That's probably why they're making such a connection, because they come from such a genuine place.
Yeah, they did. I didn't think at all that either one of these songs would get, someone's at the door. But I didn't write these songs thinking they would ever see the light of day or get the chance to be heard. They were just for me.
And when pen hit paper, was it like writing a nasty email where you write it with expletives and then you go, no, I can't, I got to take that part out?
It's so funny. There are moments like that. But with what are you going to tell her? We were like, take it one step further and say, what the hell are you going to tell her? Like it was in the song. I remember when I recorded, what are you going to tell her? We had to stop several times because I was crying so hard.
Wow. Is there a
Yeah.
song that you're now chasing? Because I think artists oftentimes in the back of their mind, they think, you know, and I'm talking the type of
Yeah.
theme, whether it's a party song, a wedding song. Is there one that you would love to just kind of beam into you that comes out?
Yeah, I would love, I've been writing so many songs that make people cry, and I want people to see the other side of that. And so I would love to write songs about, love and happiness as well. Like that needs to come through as well. But right now, there's just so much. Like I want to address, people's hopes and dreams that they're all valid. That's definitely something that I want to write now.
And talking about your latest single with Dean Brody, I want to know what you think is the perfect setting to listen to that song. Where are we? What's it smell like? What's the weather? If you were going to put someone in the perfect spot to listen to that collaboration, where would it be?
Oh my God. Like now that I have a son, which is just so important, like it's looking at him, being around your loved ones when you hear that song, Boys, whether you have a daughter or a son, it's such an important song. And so often, how do I say this? Like there's so much pressure on men too to be good and to take care of your families. Like I have a whole new respect like for my husband, like the pressure that he feels taking care of his household. And it's just really being around your family, maybe drinking a glass of whiskey as you're reminiscing on all these moments. That's where I would be, with family, with loved ones, with my
Uh,
son.
a couple of quick questions before we wrap up.
Yeah.
What's the most surprising thing about being a mom that you wish someone had have told you?
Man, and I know all the mothers out there are going to understand me. That fourth trimester, like you hear of the 3 trimesters, but that fourth trimester, like after you've given birth and you're out into the world, people do not prepare you for that. Like the first 2 weeks after giving birth and you're healing and like your body goes through like trauma. Birth is trauma, and it's so shocking. Nobody told me that. I thought I was just going to have this baby and be fine and be a mother, and you're not. Like I spent days sobbing in the restroom silently, and I wish people had prepared me for that.
I'm glad you're putting that out there. Hopefully they will.
Yeah.
Outside of hosting the ACMs, what other show would you either host or even star in if you had
Oh
if you
man.
could pick one?
Oh man, that's a good question. I would say, I really love like Kathy Lee, or now it's Hoda and Jenna Bush. I would love to be on that show with them in the mornings, having a sip of wine. That'd be a great one for me.
As Rose plays, that's how they could bring you
As
out every time.
Rose plays, exactly, exactly.
And last question, I ask every artist this: what's you and you can't say anything living because everyone will pick a pet or a daughter or a son. What's the
Okay,
coolest thing you own?
that is a good. Oh, a frother.
What's like for?
Coffee.
Now, did you say that because you just got a frother and you were drinking it before we hopped on this
I'm
call?
telling you, like having my coffee with a froth almond milk or milk, it's the best. Like you have your own latte every morning. I would say that's the coolest thing I own. Is that lame? It probably
No.
is, but it's like it changes everything. Yes.
Well, I might have to get myself a frother now because I drink like a gallon of coffee every morning. So
Oh my God, you get yourself a little frother, the Nespresso frother, and just put that on the top it off. It's like you went to Starbucks every day.